Doctor Who, The Sontaran Experiment, the third story of the fourth Doctor, is written by Bob Baker and Dave Martin and starring Tom Baker, Elizabeth Sladen and Ian Marter. So the title was going to be The Destructors. Philip Hinchcliffe wanted to split the arc in space to be a 4-part story and The Sontaran Experiment the 2-part story for the story arc and have the same director and the budget, and wanted to bring back Sontarans to save money. So they filmed the story in one location, which is Hound Tor on Dartmoor. So we get a nice opening where the TARDIS team appeared in the field with silver balls everywhere. So while the Doctor is sonicking a silver ball being watched, Sarah Jane and Harry has a look around. Harry fell down the cliff, but he seems alright. So the Doctor heard someone screaming and he thought it was Harry, but it was Zaig. So Iraq and Kranz arrived to hold the Doctor hostage because they haven't seen him before, so he could be evil. Luckily, Sarah Jane picked up the Doctor's sonic screwdriver. We get a funny moment, the way the Doctor answers the questions, brilliant. So Sarah Jane met up with Roth, who doesn't want to be caught again by an alien, which is obviously a Sontaran. As the Doctor got himself free, he met up with Sarah Jane and Roth, but he fell down the hole and those robot spaceship things captured Sarah Jane and Roth. So Harry went to see what was going on, and there was a Sontaran spaceship with a Sontaran coming out, and Sarah Jane thought it was Commander Lynx.
Lynx!
Fantastic cliffhanger. The great thing about those times with no social media, like Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, is that you definitely can't see any spoilers, and during the time with a cliffhanger like this, it's so intense. You never know what's going to happen. You might be thinking, oh, I think Sarah Jane's going to die. Oh, she's going to die. Again, Tom Baker is brilliant as the fourth Doctor. It doesn't matter how he's written, he still pulls it off. I do love Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith, a brilliant companion, and it does seem to focus on her more than others in the story. Ian Marter as Harry Sullivan, I like the character, especially when he was trying to help poor Guy who got chained up and dehydrated, ready to take on a Sontaran and cause the spaceship to blow up by sabotaging it. Kevin Lindsay played Field Major Styra, the main villain who experiments on humans, and he also played Marshall, the leader. Kevin did an excellent job. Peter Rutherford played Roth, a group of Galsec colonists who stuck on Earth and escaped from Styra. Donald Douglas, Peter Walsh and Terry Walsh played Viral, Iraq and Zaig, who are also members of Galsec colonists stuck on Earth. Glyn Jones, who's written Doctor Who The Space Museum, played Kranz in this story, another Galsec colonist. Brian Ellis played a poor prisoner who's tied up on chains and died of dehydration. The casts did an amazing job. The direction by Rodney Bennett is great, and so is the music by Dudley Simpson, and it's well written. As Roth tries to make an escape, Styra killed him, which shocked Sarah Jane, so meanwhile Harry tried to set the prisoner free, but the chain seems to be too strong. Harry couldn't get to Sarah Jane as she's tied up and surrounded by force field, so the 3 colonists get taken away by Styra's robot. We get a cool scene where Sarah Jane sees the illusion. As the Doctor used the sonic screwdriver and took the device from her head, she passed out and got angry with Styra, but he gets knocked out on the ground. Apparently, during the filming of that scene, Tom Baker broke his collarbone, which sounded really painful. The crew thought it was very serious, so Tom Baker gets taken to the nearest hospital. Turns out it wasn't as bad as they thought, so during the rest of part 2, you can see the scarf wrapping around Tom's arm like this, which is clever. I wonder what would have happened if it was worse. And I also wondered how long it took for Tom's collarbone to get fixed. Plus they used Terry Walsh as Tom Baker's stunt double for fight scenes. So after Harry thought the Doctor and Sarah Jane has died, he sees a prisoner died and got really angry, so Styra reported to Marshall. The Doctor came to Harry, so the Doctor fights with Styra, then makes a run for it, but Styra stung him, so eventually the Doctor went to Sontaran Spacepod and he managed to destroy Styra's robot. So after the reunion, the Doctor challenges Styra for a fight while Harry is sabotaging Sontaran Pod. After the explosion, Styra's face melted, which looked pretty gross. Sontaran Pod is destroyed. The Doctor tells Marshall that he's finished, so the team say goodbye to Iraq and Kranz and teleported away. Another great story, loving the story arc. What's your thoughts of this story? Let me know in the comments down below. And, well, I've already done Genesis of the Daleks, so I'll do Revenge of the Cybermen next, and then that's Season 12 wrapped up. I shall see you then.